Okay, so I just wanted to quickly go over your first project. You're going to do a little bit of preliminary work on this project this week, but next week is when you're really going to kick off. Um, so, what you're doing for this project is you're going to find one recent peer reviewed scholarly article from your field. So, this should be from your major if you've declared one. If you have not yet declared a major, then go ahead and pick whatever you're leaning towards as your field for this class. Um, so you're going to find one scholarly article from the field. It needs to be recent, so within the last like 5 years. Um, you're going to read through it. It's going to be kind of dense and it's going to be written for a specific field audience. Your job is to interpret that dense information to a public of non specialists. So you're going to take all of that technical um, kind of jargon in your field and you're going to relate it to a lay person. So picture someone just like watching the local news or someone just pulling up a video on YouTube. How would they need the information communicated to them in order to understand it? Um, so I'm looking for three things on this project. Representation. Are you accurately representing the complex information? So did you take that information that you learned from that article and represent it correctly in what you end up doing? Accessibility, that's just how useful is this to your lay audience? Are you making it in a form that they can read and understand? And then usefulness, kind of the same with accessibility. Is it reacting to their own interests and needs? Um, so the genre of this is going to be like a newscast. You're going to write a script first next week, and then the week after, you're actually going to create either a short video or a short podcast that is like in the format of a newscast relating this information. Um, so it might be good to kind of look at some news articles or some YouTube links or some news videos that show you complex information like a scientific breakthrough or a medical breakthrough or something that they've kind of written to the level of a lay audience. Remember, your purpose for this is to take specialized knowledge and turn it into something that a regular non specialist public can understand. So, the audience is a broad audience for this one, just a public of non specialists in this field. So, if it's a medical document that you're reviewing, then you're pretending that none of these people understand the medical field. If it's an engineering document you're reviewing, then these are not people who have been through engineering classes and understand kind of the math and whatever. Excuse me, I'm still under the weather. For design, we're going to look at a few, but it's a newscast. So you're making a video, or I'm giving you the choice to make a podcast because there are a lot of news podcasts out there. We'll look at a few kind of examples next week to get you into it, but you can do this on your own as well. So for the process, you're going to write a script first. Next week, you'll write your script. It's going to be roughly 2 pages, double spaced. It's not a lot of writing. But this is going to be kind of the script you deliver and what you're going to say in order to get your information across. And you'll turn that in, and I'll give you some brief feedback on it. Um, and then you're going to create either your video or your newscast, which I'll give you some links next week on where you can do that. A 2 to 3 minute long video or newscast. It's not going to be a lengthy thing that you're doing. You do not have to personally appear in the video. If you make a video, you could just do like images or video reels or whatever. Um, you don't have to do one with like your face, but you will have to have some kind of a voiceover that should be your voice for either the video or the podcast. And then so within that video or podcast, you should have some kind of visual or auditory component that's increasing interest. So if you're doing a podcast, maybe sound effects or music. If you're doing a video, maybe you've got like clips or pictures or sound effects as well. The overall final kind of thing that you turn in is going to be worth 15% of your grade. Once you turn that final in, there'll be a round of peer feedback on your video or podcast because you will be revising this final for your portfolio, which is our project 4. So that's a brief look through. Read through it closely. If you have questions, please feel free to email me or contact me. We'll work with this a lot more next week.